attached.
I think on that note, and I'm going to go with a personal story. Both of my grandfathers, my grandfather Lee and my grandfather Charles, or Charlie, we actually called him Daddy for sake of reference for the show. Um, my daddy, is my mom's father, and he was a little bit reluctant, for us to help him and stuff like that when I was younger, but it was a mutual type of reluctance between my brothers and myself, because we had to go live with our grandparents because of my huh.
I think
Well,
Nick's talking to someone else.
okay, sorry. We had to go live with our, my grandparents just to help them, just to help my grandmother with my grandfather. And my grandfather was reluctant to do a lot of things, but and I thought he was kind of mean at times, things like that. But the older I got and I moved out here, I realized what he was doing, and he was really appreciative of a lot of stuff my brothers and I did because of things he was going through. We actually became very close to him. And then with my dad's father, my grandfather Lee, um, I used to do a lot of. I used to go over there and get him dressed in the mornings. This is like around my early 20s, late teens or 20s. I would give up time, doing things with my friends on the weekends because my grandmother wanted to go to a church event, and so I would just cancel and go over there and sit with him, and he was, he wasn't too, not that he didn't appreciate, he wanted me to give him my time, but I looked at it that it was my duty to be there for my grandfather, to help him out, to, get him bathed, put him in the bed, feed him, that type of thing, and because he had done so much for me and my brothers and my mom, and so it was just only it was the right thing to do. It was honoring him, and I don't think in my mind, I don't think he was relinquishing control. Either one of my grandparents was relinquishing control, because to me they were very much still in control of what we did and how we did it, when it came to them and their house and whatnot. And so, but it was a balance. And then I think, but I think you have some elderly people and some people who can't do for themselves are still fighting to let people know, hey, I have my faculties. I can still do things. Don't treat me like a child. And ultimately, I think is respect. Is respecting these people, and when they are ready to release control, you have to let them do it on their own time, because then they will realize they need to let go of control of some situations. But um, but I think you still have to honor them and ask them things, and ask, can I do this, or can I do this, that for you, and not just do it. You know.
A lot of wisdom in there. Um, Thanks for that, Jerry. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with a little more on, well,
Conversation with Friends.
Conversation with Friends. All right, we're
And
back.
welcome back with Conversation with Friends with Nick
Hello.
and Rob.
Hi.
Okay, and we were just talking about a topic about spirituality, and of course, when to let go and when do you let things go, and is it possible for you to let them fully go and let someone else have control of those issues, or take care of things for you. When, of course, possibly you cannot do it yourself.
Yeah,
So,
I'm in that category. I'm really struggling with this topic, guys, and I am I'm going through the Al-Anon program right now, and I'm really at that place where I'm supposed to be accepting that higher power and bring myself to being open to the idea that this higher power can restore me to sanity. What is sanity? Have I not been sane?
Right,
well,
right, right. All right.
first, let me ask you, Rob. Okay, for you, who is that higher power? Because that's an important question. Because people,
Jerry,
that's just blank.
To the best of my ability, what I have been able to conceive of as a plausible higher power is a higher self, and the higher self is it's a better me, but it's a me that's connected with others. It's that social health that Nick was talking about earlier in the show, where I feel comfortable with myself in the midst of others, so that I can form friendships and fellowships and have a sense of security. That's a higher self. Right now, that's about as high as I can see a higher power being personally on an individual level. I mean, I could say, well, the universe, nature, all of that is definitely a higher power. But when I try to take it onto a personal level, and what is that higher power that I need that's significant for my personal growth? Really, a higher self seems to be the only concept that's working for me right now.
Okay, so it couldn't be a spiritual being that could help you get through that.
Yeah, but a spiritual being that, but it has to be connected to me. It can't be apart from me. It can't be this concept that is unachievable or unattainable, that is just way too far out there, and that wouldn't give a damn about me in the first place. That's too high of a power. That's, I mean, I don't feel very significant as it is. So if I overshoot my idea of a higher power, I'm basically going to convince myself that he or she or it doesn't give a darn about me. So I need to walk a fine balance that my higher power does sort of care, and I am some sort of a factor in its grand equation.
I'm sorry, Nick, what are you doing?
I'm wondering when someone's going to answer the initial question that I asked at the top of the show. No one's really tried to answer that question yet.
And the question is...
See, that's pretty sad that you don't even know what the question is or was.
I forget. I'm just wondering what the fumbling around in the background is.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, man.
No fumbling.
Please remind us. This is definitely a good opportunity to take us back.
Well, the question I asked was, how do we maintain gratitude and humility in the world that doesn't seem to want us to? In this crazy world where all this terrible stuff happens, where we need knee surgeries, or we have depression, we have problems, we have war, we have people like Christopher Dorner out there, we have disease, we have daily monotony of life. This is really an existential question.
Yeah, no kidding. When you frame it that way, it's pretty much impossible to maintain gratitude.
Right? No. I disagree.
You disagree?
What would Jeffrey Lebowski say about that, Rob?
Oh, God.
just smoke kidding. A toke and enjoy your evening.
I don't think he's queued up for that.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, no, I'm not queued up for that. Sorry.
I think you can be still grateful in the midst of everything that is going on, because you have to be grateful for the fact that you got up in the morning, that you open your eyes and that you're able to breathe, and that if you're able to walk, then fine, you can walk. Even if you're walking with pain, you still can walk. Or If you're in a wheelchair, that's okay, but you can still get around. You can do what you need to do, and that you have a purpose for being. You're just not here taking up space. You have a purpose, and you may not always know what that purpose is, but you have a purpose, and that's something to be grateful for. And even like
So,
with the gloom of life, or the many gloomy things that can happen in one's life.
I think a lot of there's a branch of there's something the ancient Greeks called telos that this perhaps was something along the lines that you're talking about it. So Jerry, I think if we have a purpose, if we understand our individual purpose, if we've defined it and if we're living up to it, then we'll have gratitude then.
No. I mean, not every. No. I'm saying not everyone knows what their purpose in life is. For some people, their purpose, they would never figure it out because they don't take the time to settle themselves down to even allow themselves to be spiritually connected with God or whomever they believe in. But for me, God. It's again, they don't allow themselves to be spiritually connected to sit down and like, okay, what am I here for? What am I good at? How, what is my purpose? And to seek that out. Um, but like I said, it's part of just simply being grateful for the little things in life. Grateful that you have people that love you, friends that you are with.
Wouldn't you both agree though? We have to be gentle with ourselves. Like we all of us go through those moments where we have a rough day and we come home and we just want to say,
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, we don't.
Such language, Robert.
And then we go eat a pizza.
Actually, that's such language, dude.
We go eat a pizza or do something online that we don't do in public online, or we'll do something that afterward we don't feel 100% great about, and then the next day comes and we have to be able to forgive ourselves. Did we commit a sin? I mean, are we like, do we have to go now to confession and say 10 rosaries or? Where do you draw the line? I mean, how do you guide yourself?
For you,
Jeffrey Lebowski is really a classic. I mean, he's the perfect example of someone who seems completely detached from any sort of any of that sort of guilt or any sort of concern about. I mean, he really is kind of the Western embodiment of some sort of hippie Buddhist on the mountaintop.
The dude abides.
He abides. So how could he? How does he do both? That's why he's so lovable, right? Somehow, he struck a balance.
Love the dude.
Well, I think when the dude is flowing through life. That's what the dude is.
Flowing.
Yeah, he's just floating through life, and just kind of haphazardly just going through life.
But he seems to have gratitude. That's my point. The dude seems to have a sense of like what's important. If you look at his characteristics in the film, he really seems to have appreciation for the little things.
Hold that thought. We're running out of time. We'll have to be back in part 2 if you guys want to keep going with this. But we are technically out of time on this show. So thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll see you shortly.